My name is Bill Kroplin, and this is my wife, Bonnie Kroplin. And we're going to talk about the wonderful Zook cabin that my wife purchased.
Well, when Bill said to me, why don't you look for a cabin instead of just, a regular manufactured home like most people have here on the res? I was like, really? I get to look for a cabin? I've been wanting one since I was a little girl. And so I went on the internet and said, how do I find a log cabin? And I saw different companies that had log cabins, so I just called them all and left my name and number. So we were driving away from here one day, and I get a return phone call from Alan at Zook. And he said, hello, I'm the West Coast salesperson, and you left your name and number. And I thought, we really would love to have a cabin, but, we can't build it from the ground up. And he said, okay, well, that's not what we do. And he started explaining what I should have seen on the website, but I hadn't looked, what they do. And they do like a manufactured home where they bring it and put it together, but it's really a log cabin. And he said, built by the Amish. And I was like, oh my golly, this sounds really cool. Alan was dealing with us, over the phone and by email and by text. And everything that I would ask him, he would respond very quickly. It was, a whole beginning process for me. So he was very kind to accept all my questions and respond to my emails. So we were about ready to confirm. And then it turns out I had a trip to go back to Maryland to see family. And I thought, wow, I wonder how close that is. It was within an hour's drive of their office in Pennsylvania. So I drove up there and met him in person, and I went in his office. Our offices were within a cabin. So I went into his office, and here on the wall was a map of the United States with pins stuck all in it, different colored pins. I said, what are all these pins? He said, well, that's where we have had cabins installed. And I pointed to where I wanted it, and I said, you're going to be able to put a pin in right there. So we had a good time talking about things, and in their office they had displays of every kind of cabinet you could choose, floor colorings and walls, you could paint it white, all kinds of options, so many options. I said, okay, well, I like what you got right here, because I was not ready to try and figure out all of those options. So I settled on all the things right there with him, and he said, well, now we have just a couple miles away, we actually have another office set up, which is what you're looking for. So I was able to walk inside just exactly this cabin. So when I walked into the model that they had there, which happened to just be what I wanted, there was a little half wall at the entry area. And I thought, well, we don't need that because we just want it to be open. He says, no problem, we don't have to put that in there. And there was an entry closet, like a coat closet, and I thought, we don't need that. If we did away with that, would it make the bedroom closet larger? And he says, sure, we can do that. Now, every little change that I'm asking about, no charge. They just change it in the plan.
For me, the openness and the craftsmanship, it is unbelievable. Everything works. All the doors shut. I just can't say enough of the quality in the way they put everything together. I am overexcited and happy about the whole process.
The one thing that we added later, which was once it was all going and the plans were already drawn, we said, we'd really like to add another deck because we've got views from two places. So that came on after we decided everything else. So I would recommend to anybody, try and get all your ideas down so you don't have to pay your drawing people twice. But it worked out great, and we're so glad we did it.
Yeah, that was the biggest change for me, adding the extra deck. To our left is the one that we added. I can sit out there in my chair in the morning and have a cup of coffee and watch the sun come up. And then in the evening, I can sit on the front porch and watch the sunset, which is gorgeous here. So adding that one deck made a world of difference for me.
I do want to tell you that the crew who came to set this together were awesome as well. They came out, 6 guys came from the East Coast, young men, in their late teens. They have a guy in charge, John. He was, I think, 23 years old. And we watched them put it together and finish off everything that they needed to on the exterior and interior as it comes together.
Every one of them was polite young men, and they would invite us to come on in and take a look, you know. And we're like, I don't want to get in your way. No, come on in. So they were exceptionally, fantastic young men. Since we've got the cabin, my wife loves to come down here. So the big change is we don't come down for 2 or 3 days. We're spending 2 weeks. So we're almost here 50% of our life now. And it's very enjoyable to have a place that you love to come to and just enjoy it.
And I never dreamed that I would want to be here that much, but it is so comfortable. I'm really enjoying being here. This feels like home to me. It feels good, and we like to be here.
The experience that you will get is unbelievable. From start to finish, from the time we said yes, we want to do it, to the time the young men drove off and the cabin was complete and drove down the driveway, 100% satisfaction, 100%.